My name is Matt Leighton. This is Shawn Battle. Today we're going to be talking about what's actually going on with Amazon and the spring market. Shawn, how's it going today?
Man, it's crazy, honestly. This is one of the strongest spring markets I've ever seen. I've been doing this 16 years. 2005 was kind of nuts, where I bought in 2005 and I felt like I'm never going to be able to afford because prices just keep jumping.
Right.
And then, of course, we saw the downturn. This is the first time in my career that I'm seeing this craze, right? It is an absolute craze of, especially the lower end market, but pretty much everything is seeing a craze where everything is getting multiple contracts. We're seeing a frenzy to purchase in Arlington, to be honest.
And how long has this frenzy been going on for?
What is it, February? So I've seen it for 2 months. So right after that Amazon news, we started seeing a lot of people jumping in the market, and it started slow and now it's just progressing. Yeah. And what's happened is all of those spring buyers are here early. They're antsy, they're trying to get in the market as quickly as possible. So they're here, the inventory isn't, which is causing so many multiple contract situations.
Yeah, I mean, when you say multiple contracts, are we thinking 2, 3 contracts?
We're talking 2, we're talking 3, we're talking 8.
So Shawn had 8, we had 8 contracts.
8.
That's crazy.
So this is the lower side of the market, but it's a 1-bedroom around the $300,000 mark. 8 contracts. Some of those 8 contracts came in a little low. Some came in asking.
When you say low, is that below asking price?
They came in below asking, yeah. They don't know the market yet. They're still learning. That's the problem is, when you are new to the market and you're just learning, you're going to write those kind of offers, and it's kind of a school that you've got to go through to learn that, hey, I can't do this. But there were 2 that were low, by $5,000. 1 at asking, 1 slightly above it, about $3,000 above. Yeah. 1 went $5,000. 2 went $10,000, and then 1 went $16,000 over.
So this is $16,000 over on a $300,000 property. It's not like $1 million property and it's like $16,000 over, which is like whatever. This is like $300,000. If you go on 16 over, that's a significant amount.
5%. You're 5% above asking at that point. So this is what you've got to think about when you're writing contracts. And not only that, most of the people that wrote on that place were doing a home inspection for information only, so a right to void. So they weren't going to ask for anything to be fixed. So the one that actually won waived the home inspection. No home inspection whatsoever. Another thing you want to think about is, waiving that appraisal and portions of it.
Are you seeing people doing that?
I am. So actually the one that won that one waived a portion of the appraisal as well. So no home inspection, $5,000 of the appraisal is gone, waived. So if it appraises $5,000 low, they're still willing to pay full price, contract price. And then a quick settlement, like 2.5 weeks, financed settlement. So again, have the local lenders that can do this, that can turn this around quickly. Know your lenders and figure out who to use, because this is super, super competitive. And if you're not knowing how to write a strong contract, you're going to lose over and over and over again. It's going to get frustrating.
So on that point, if you don't know how to write a strong contract in just like 3 terms, what would be the top 3 terms? And obviously price number 1. So
price is number 1.
What is the seller looking for that would make the contract the strongest?
Strongest is, number 1 is price.
Number 1 is always price.
Number 2, I think, appraisal. If you're willing to waive some sort of value in the appraisal, whether it be up to a certain point, up to a certain amount, so look at your comps and you say, well, I think this could probably appraise for X, we'll waive it up to that value. Or you pull off some sort of, I will pay $5,000. If it appraises low, up to $5,000 low, I will pay that difference in cash.
Yeah.
So that's another thing you can do. I think that's number 2. Number 3 would be the home inspection. And it really depends on if you're dealing with a house or with a condo. Home inspections are a little bit harder to waive on the home, but if that's the case, then do a pre-inspection, get in there early, see if they will allow you to do that. But those are the top 3: price, appraisal, and your home inspection.
Yeah. I just saw a property in Arlington. It was listed for $615. It closed for $660. It closed for $45,000 more than the asking price. It got so many offers, and it went for like $45,000 over.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, like, why? If you're a buyer, why are you going to pay $50,000 towards the top of the market for a property
Why?
overpriced.
Because of Amazon, because of the influence that this is happening. And this is not a normal spring market. Like I said, this is not normal. This is, I think, Amazon influenced. It's not the Amazon buyer yet. It's the local buyer that's still buying, that's trying to get in the market. So they're doing whatever they can to win these properties, which is great for your seller. So if you're a seller, get on now. Don't wait, because the spring market is here, and as more inventory comes, it's going to weed out these buyers. And we're going to have less competition, and things will, I think, slow down a little bit. Now, it just depends on how frenzied this whole thing is, right?
Yeah, and then if you're a buyer, are you escalating over? Are you waiving home
You have
inspection contingency, or are you just sitting on the sideline?
You could be.
Those are the two options.
Those are so I've talked to a lot of agents over the last couple of days, because what happens is another listing will come on in the same area or same building, and those agents that lost will call me for advice on how do I write this contract better? What was my competition like? Talked to 3 different agents asking me questions about that, right? So that's smart. That's a smart agent doing their homework. But I mean, as a buyer, you're either, and a lot of those people said that they had buyers that ended up just saying, you know what, I'm just going to rent for a while because this is too competitive.
It can be frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
You escalate over, and by the way, I wrote 2 offers last week, and they were both extremely competitive, and none of them got accepted. So it's not just like we're winning and no one else is. It's like we're writing strong offers for our buyers, and they might not get accepted. But it's got to be frustrating if you go over list price, you're waiving home inspections, and then you still don't get the property.
Oh, it's super frustrating. Like I said last time, I had clients for a year that wrote, and the South Arlington single-family home market was very competitive. So it's frustrating. You've just got to say, all right, that wasn't the one, and move on to the next one. And honestly, everybody finds the right house in the end. I've done it multiple times, over and over again. You've just got to learn who your competition is, how they're writing these contracts. If you're competing against cash, you have little ability to beat them out unless you write a letter. And I was just talking to an agent the other day where their client took the letter over a $10,000 escalation.
Do you think letters
The letter. Sometimes it does. It's all psychological.
But if you were that seller agent and you receive that letter,
I'd be like, take the 10 grand.
I'm telling my clients, throw this email into the trash. Don't even look at the letter, because the letter doesn't matter. Like, look at the price. I mean, do you care about $10,000 more? I mean, I hope you do, but the reality is some people don't.
Sometimes their house is sentimental and they want to leave it to somebody that they feel comfortable with. That's the way it is. So psychology is huge in this market, and you've got to play it. You have to play the game. If you're not, you're losing.
I mean, our thing is we're going to get the most money for our sellers, and I instruct all my sellers to never even look at a letter. I mean, why look at a letter? You're only going to accept a lower offer. Yeah. It's like you might as well just get the offer and then cross out the price and
Or that might be the one that you counter and say, all right, I'll counter you at this. I'll give you the opportunity, which. I get it. I'm going to use it every time as a buyer's agent. And a seller's agent, I'm going to go for the best contract.
Yeah. What do you instruct as a seller's agent? Do you tell them to look at the letter or not pay attention to it?
No, I tell them to look at everything. I send them everything. We go over everything. They read the letters, and sometimes people write humongous letters. I mean, you don't have to go into that much detail. Just give us a quick synopsis of who you are, and send us a picture. That's cool. But sometimes they're like 2 pages.
I don't know. I like taking the emotions out of it. I think my job is to get the most money as possible, and we're putting the emotions to the side.
Sure. I mean, that's your job. I mean, you're not supposed to take the emotional one. You're supposed to take the money and the best contract, and the one that's going to go through in the end. Now, to give you examples, right now we have, I think, 6 or 7 different properties under contract. 1, 8 contracts. The second one in Westview, up in Ballston. 2 contracts. That first contract, that first person backed out. Yeah. I went back to the second one, got it right under contract, right back again, not even going back on the market because we had kind of a backup contract. Another one, Alta Vista, 2 contracts.
2 contracts.
Windsor Plaza, sold it pre-market.
Not even on the market.
Not even on the market. So what we did was Matt put out some Facebook posts. We got some agents that wanted to see it. Multiple agents showed it before we ever hit the market. We got 2 offers over list before it ever hit the market. So that's what we're dealing with. The strong buyers are going after it and going after it hard. And you should see, if you're listing your property, you should see a lot of traffic.
Yeah, and if you're a buyer, you're not dipping your toes in. You're taking a cannonball like off the deep end to win these properties. I mean, you can put out the feelers of, oh, let's just go in a little bit below list price, but you are going to get destroyed in this market right now. So either come like you want it or don't come at all.
Yep. It's tough. It's tough to swallow. And believe me, we lose things over and over again, but it's an education that your buyer has to go through. This is the time. Go to bat, hit the home run, get it, because you're going to feel comfortable once you're in it. Could have buyer's remorse later if the market starts slowing down, but I don't think it will, honestly. I think what's going to happen is it's going to start weeding out as we get to the spring market. It's going to be a solid spring market. Summer is usually a slower time. Are we going to hit that? That's the summer blues, you know what I mean? Are we going to hit that or not? I mean, it's anybody's guess. I've seen markets go like this the entire year, probably like, I think it was 2012 or 2013, where we never stopped. But then the next year saw a little bit of a lull, and then it stacked up again. So you're in for tough competition. Write the right contract. Make sure that you're doing things the right way. And as far as sellers, get the property on the market as soon as you can.
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is the time. There's so many people out there, so few inventory. Do it.
That was a great recap. I don't think I can top that.
That's it.
Well, for myself and for Shawn, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Awesome. Thanks,
See ya.
guys.